What's up, everybody? It's me, KiNGAlpha. Hope everybody's doing great. So today we're going to be overviewing the K2C1. This is the first gun that came, or the earliest gun that you can get in the Battle Pass for Operation 1, which is Redline. Now there is going to be some gameplay in this, not a crap ton of gameplay, mainly because of the fact that I'm still leveling up the gun and everything, and a lot of moments I could only find, certain moments I was having at least a decent little streak going with the gun. Now I will say this, I'm gonna be rating the gun out of 10 in this review of it, but we're just gonna just dive into it and everything like that. So first off, for this gun, and thank you for everybody that does watch me for World War 3. I do appreciate it. It does help me out a lot. So first off, if you do buy the Battle Pass, you actually can get the K2C1 Jungle Command blueprint. This blueprint is pretty good. I will say one of the bad parts about it is that it does use the compact barrel and the S3 hollow sight. I'm gonna say this: sights always depend on the player. Some players use the sight from the backpack. Some players like using different sights or anything like that. It's fully up to you. The best thing about this actual blueprint is the fact that it comes with a 30 round mag. If you actually unlock the weapon by itself and you don't use and you don't have the blueprint, you actually only have 20 rounds in the mag to begin with. And usually, I gotta say it, 20 round mags are pretty bad unless you're staying at kind of like medium to close range, medium to far range, due to the fact that most of the time you're gonna miss some shots, and then also the fact that if there's multiple enemies, sometimes it takes about 8 to 10 rounds, maybe sometimes 15. So when you're going to reload, the next player, where at least 30 rounds, you can kill multiple people with 30 rounds personally. Anyways, so going through the Battle Pass, regardless, you can get the gun at level 8. You unlock it at level 8, and then you can basically that's basically it. There's no other blueprint for it or anything like that, if I'm correct. And it's pretty easy to get to level 8. I think you have to play just maybe a few games of it. So we're gonna go into this loadout now. I know you're gonna look at my weapon and be like, what the hell is that? I just wanted to see how it would look with mixing colors, so don't even bother with it. So the gun overall, it does level up to about, I think it's 65 like the usual. Most assault rifles do go to 65, or so this one's 63. The attachments on this gun are a bit limited compared to what you have like on some other guns, where you have like the integrated suppressor, you have the marksman barrel. A lot of that, you actually can only use a standard barrel and a compact barrel on this gun. Now it does say in the description that basically it's a middle ground between an AR and an SMG. And funny enough, I do feel it's actually more of an SMG than anything. The big thing about this gun, I gotta say, is the fire rate. The fire rate's really low. I think it's almost as low, if I'm correct, as the Alpha. No, it's not the Alpha, sorry. The AK-15. Now, the big thing about the AK-15 is that even though it has a slow fire rate, the caliber bullet is a 7.62, and it shreds, whereas the caliber bullet for the K2C1 is a 5.56. And usually guns that are a 5.56, like the M4, it has a high fire rate. Most guns that are a 5.56 are a high fire rate gun. So when you're dealing with guns like this, it's one of those things where it's like it's harder to penetrate through armor and everything. So you do need a higher fire rate. So I gotta say, that's one of the big things about this gun. It has such a low fire rate and such a weak caliber bullet that if you don't basically hit in the head or hit parts that don't have armor, it takes a lot more bullets to kill the person. Now the big thing about this gun that I do love is the fact that its weight is only a 3. Now the fact that it's a weight 3, usually if you look at most of the SMGs, it's a weight 3, weight 2, and a weight 3. I think it would have almost been better to just classify this gun as a submachine gun, because you can more or less put an assault rifle or a sniper and then have this as a secondary, which it is kind of good to the fact that you can use it as an assault rifle and have something like a sniper with the K2C1, or using a marksman rifle with the K2C1. Obviously, depending on what type of armor you use, I always usually use the steel armor plate and the titanium helmet, because it's just, I don't know, I go for full out protection, because you just sometimes, a lot of the times you get hit in the chest or whatever, and it's like, I like protection. Mobility is good, but it's just like, I think they're going to be changing mobility in the future. Anyways, let's continue back off of the gun. So the gun itself is overall meh, if I'm really honest. Most of the times I do lose a lot of encounters versus guns that have higher fire rate or that just hit harder. It's very, very annoying. You're gonna see in the clips that I show you, and we'll talk a little bit in there. It's only a minute long, but it's taken a lot of bullets if I don't hit the exact spots that I really need to. And it can be very, very infuriating. I gotta say, it's very infuriating in terms of accuracy for this gun. And I have to be honest, it really is not even the best gun for medium range, if I'm honest, due to the fact that it's just like, it just feels like SMG. So when you're shooting, you're kind of going around the person most of the time at medium range, and there's no real, like, I guess the recoil of the gun just really is, it feels really hard to stay on the target at medium range, whereas close range, it's pretty easy to actually get the edge against a target and kill them. Now again, this gun heavily struggles against any other assault rifles that do that basically shoot faster and either have a higher caliber bullet. A lot of the times it was crazy. A lot of the times I was losing to people using MSBSK, the M4, the M4WS, like everything. It was basically every gun I was fighting was just losing. And I know this sounds so bad, but funny enough, it's actually a fun gun if you get to a lot of close encounters, like on certain maps like Berlin or certain maps like Moscow, that you can have those like close encounters if you're actually fighting up close. And the big thing about this gun, again, is the fact that its weight is 3. So funny enough, if I actually take off my armor plate and put a ceramic one, I can run a LMG, and I mean, not an LMG, I can run a RPG with the K2C1 here, and basically have a good SMG to assault rifle with an RPG to be able to counter tanks and things. Additionally, the attachments for this gun, again, it really sucks that you only have the combat barrel and the standard barrel. I think if I had a marksman barrel, it would be absolutely great, or even an integrated suppressor. But again, I don't know if this is obviously they're keeping realistic to the gun, so I don't know if this is actually what can be put on the gun. So again, I've always said I'm not a I don't know my things entirely. The best muzzle I have actually found for this gun has actually been the QD suppressor. I know some people like to use the suppressor from the bag, but personally, the QD suppressor which actually came with the blueprint, it's actually pretty good for the K2C1, and for the fact that, again, medium range, you're not really hitting your shots, the suppressor really helps. I mean, some people are like trying to look around for where you're at, and it really overall helps me out when in terms of trying to be sneaky, and not be more or less caught out and then caught reloading or anything like that. Now, there's one good thing I will say about this, is the actual barrel itself. So you see how the standard barrel has the little thing in the front here. I'm gonna just hover over it right here. This thing right here is actually really good, and it's really nice. You'll see in the gameplay that I have that I actually use this type of barrel with the sight, because the actual sight itself, it basically is always dead on in front of you, so you can always, like, it. I will say this is probably one of the best overall regular sight on the barrel. Now, in terms of what sight I actually use with it, I do like to use the fast fire open red dot, because again, you'll see in the gameplay when we're talking, the sight itself is dead on with the actual front sight of the gun, and it makes a nice crisp I guess FOV look when you're aiming down sights, and it just looks amazing. I did try and use just regular K2C1 iron sights, but the thing is, you can't actually clear these sights, and when you're combining both of the regular iron sight and the forward sight, it just doesn't really work well. And again, and I always say this about sights, it really is up to you how you want to actually use your sights on any gun, because people are just different. You know, people like to use this sight or that sight. It is what it is. The magazine I like to use just the regular 30 round mag. Sorry, the regular. Oh well, the tactical mag, more or less tactical reload. Full. You're gonna need this because, again, you know, a lot of the times, you know, sometimes sadly one freaking mag doesn't kill someone, and it can be just so infuriating. I am going to be trying out the, you know, skeleton mag, but always with the skeleton mag I'm a bit because it's the aim down sight speed, all that other stuff is pretty bad. And a lot of times this gun is close quarters, so I don't know. It's one of those again. I always use the AMP Q15. It's amazing because of the fact that it decreases aim down sight speed. And it does increase your weapon swap time, but again, that decreasing aim down sight speed is just amazing. And the hip fire on the gun is really good, actually. So I use the standard barrel with the sight on it, and then again I use the QD suppressor. The underbarrel I'm still working on which ones I'm really, you know, trying to figure out which ones really the best with the gun. I always usually try and decrease the horizontal recoil depending on how the gun is. Like if the gun has really good vertical recoil, I'll work only on like horizontal and things like that. Now let's go into some gameplay, and then I will basically talk a little bit over what's going on you know, with the gun. All right, what's up everybody? So again, you guys are gonna see here what loadout I'm actually using, and this is pretty good. At this point I was using the monster grip and everything, and it was pretty good. I mean, you know, it was doing its thing, and as you can see here, it just is at medium range. It's just sometimes taking way too many shots, but up close and personal, it's awesome. Look at that, boom, easy clean kills. And again, using this sight with that really nice front sight on the barrel is just, I don't know, I find it so nice and easy to always find my targets. But you're gonna see right here, for example, eventually you're gonna have it where you're gonna see the fact that it was just taking so many bullets sometimes when you're missing the vital points that it's just like, what the fuck, I'm not killing the guys. Like, what is that? You know what I mean? It's just you know, in close quarters you need to be killing people fast because people turn, and you're gonna see right here I didn't kill anybody, and this is just something to really show. So all right, so again, we're gonna be talking about the fact that I am going to basically rate this gun now. So after showing you guys the clip and kind of showing you a good clip on where I was like killing people, and then part of a clip where, you know, I was killing people but then I got screwed over because of the fact that, you know, I think it was the fact that I did shoot the person in the head a couple of times, even in the shoulder, and I'm thinking, okay, with a lot of other guns, if I did that with, you know, with those guns, even the M4, even, you know, even like a gun like the G36, which isn't one of the best guns in the game, it would have killed, you know. And then you have it where I went, shot him, and then you immediately, you know, thinking in that situation, oh, I killed him, boom, and you move on to the next one. And I just got kind of screwed over. Obviously, you know, it's one of those things, you should make sure the target's dead before moving on to the next one. But it was just expecting the gun to kill. Whereas, like I've always said it, this gun shoots slow, so only a few bullets actually hit. Whereas other guns, if it was the M4 or even, you know, the M4's 16 as well, it would have immediately murdered both of those guys in that last clip. What I'm gonna rate this gun, personally for me, I think is a like 6 out of 10. Because the pros of the gun are the fact that it's, you know, the weight is really good. It's only a 3 weight, so it's basically a SMG. It does do good, decent damage up close, has nice hip fire rate. But the big cons of this gun are the fact that, for one, you know, it is a 20 round mag until you unlock the 30 round mag. Luckily, you obviously get the blueprint in with the actual, what is it? You get the blueprint with the 30 round mag itself. But if you actually don't have, you know, if you just unlock the gun, you don't even buy the battle pass or anything like that, I didn't even really see when you actually get your 30 round mag, which is a big thing. And always, I personally don't think you can use this gun with a 20 round mag because it doesn't do that much damage. And as we can see, you need to get the gun to level 20, which isn't really hard, but for someone that isn't averaging as many kills, or for the fact that, you know, you're starting with this gun that it has you know, 20 bullets and you're struggling to really get those kills and everything, it is going to take a minute for you to actually get this gun to level 20 so you can get the 30 round mag and actually use it against people. So personally, guys, I really have to say for this gun, it's a 6 out of 10. Is it a gun that maybe you should focus and work on and finish? It's really up to you. Is it a gun that you must use to actually do decent in World War 3? Not at all. I think personally there's better ARs, like the AK-15, the MSBSB, even the new other gun, the QBZ, is actually pretty good. I am going to do a video review on that gun after I unlock it. I'm pretty close in the battle pass to actually unlocking it, and I am using the blueprint version right now, but I want to actually be able to unlock the 30 round mag and more you know, attachments for that gun. Now I know I'm doing a review on this gun and it's not finished, but more or less the gun is pretty much finished due to the fact that there's not many attachments left to really unlock, unless it's like a sight or something, or like a side laser, or, you know, laser or whatever it is. So again, 6 out of 10 for this gun. I think for sure it could do with a buff, maybe at damage in medium range, not like far range, but medium range, just simply because of the fact that it's like, it just shoots so slow, and then it just, you know, you're using a 5.56 caliber bullet and you're just not penetrating the armor. So if you're hitting the armor, you're really not going to be killing people. And if they just turn on you with a MSBSB or a MSBSK or any gun that just shoots really fast, or a gun that even does more damage, just does has a higher caliber bullet, I feel like you just get screwed, man, personally. So let me know what you guys think about the K2C1. I'm personally interested to see what people will say. But yeah, I've heard a lot that people don't really prefer to use this gun. They prefer to use the other one, which is the QBZ, and they say like it's cracked and stuff. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.